Cold and bitter New Year's Day, but conditions perfect for rugby league football, and Salford, the first visitors of 1993. It's been a good Christmas so far for Leeds, but as for Salford, they haven't played for 5 weeks. Well, I've got Steve Ramsbottom with me from the Salford club. Steve, how do you think this layoff will affect the game today?
Oh, well, I think when you look at these two teams on paper, then you've got to say that Leeds must be the favourites. They've got all their stars back in action, playing well, like you say. They've hammered Castleford with more than 40 points. They hammered Halifax with more than 40 points in the game before that. And Salford, well, not having played for 32 days is a long, long time to go without a game. And when we look at Salford's November form, they actually lost 4 games on the trot. So, on paper, Leeds look odds on, I would say, today.
Well, Steve Gibson, Salford player just coming across. He'll be joining us shortly in the commentary. And Headingley leads out the Leeds team. And I'll just run through the teams for you now. For Leeds, Alan Tate is at full-back, Jim Fallon, Kevin Iro, Craig Innes and Simon Irving. The three-quarters Irving coming in for unlucky Carl Gibson, who's broken his leg. Gary Schofield and Gareth Stevens are the half-backs now. Andy Gregory today. Steve Malloy, James Laws, Mike O'Neill, Paul Dixon, Gary Mercer and Ellery Hanley. That's the pack who did so well against Castleford. Carl Grigg is at number 14 and Paul Anderson at 15. Well, Salford line up with 5 ex-Leeds players in their 15. David Cruikshank is at full-back. Tex Evans, Jason Critchley, Martin Burkitt, Phil Ford. The three-quarters, Steve Bleakley, Craig Coleman. And the half-backs, David Young, Mark Lee, Jed Staziker, Arthur Bradshaw, Ian Blease and Andy Burgess make up the pack, with John Gilfillan, Rob Ackerman, the substitutes. And the referee for today, a very good friend of mine, that's Russell Smith from Castleford.
We're also joined on the stand today by Steve Gibson. Steve Gibson was voted by Open Rugby as the best full-back in the First Division last season. Steve's joined us now. What do you think is going to happen today, Steve? You know, the effect of 32 days without a game for Salford. How's that going to show itself, do you think?
Yeah, it'll definitely be hard, Steve. Lads know they've got a job. They're going to have to knuckle down. They can't let that play on their mind. Hopefully, the rest might have done the world of good. We'll find out. First 10 or so minutes will show, but hopefully they'll be able to come through it.
Good, well, I hope you're right. A number of ex-Leeds players in the Salford team. Phil Ford been outstanding for Salford this season on the try-scoring stint, although he's not played in the last few matches for Salford. David Cruikshank also had a spell here, and David Young, now a regular established rugby league player. That's good to see. An interesting game, but you have to say on the form, Stuart, it's got to be Leeds who are the favourites.
Well, it certainly would look that way on paper. I just have a feeling that Tugger Coleman, of course, who had a good spell at Leeds here, he's going to give young Gareth Stevens a hard game today at scrum half. That's what he'll be in for. And of course on the bench, another former Leeds player and a good friend of mine, Bob Ackerman, who's had a couple of years up here. So it's unusual for 5 players to come from one club, but Salford, they've played well this season in fits and starts, had some good wins and some bad defeats, really. So we're almost ready for the kick-off. And Leeds are changing ends. Leeds will kick towards the scoreboard end. It's away from the old dressing rooms, and Salford it will, but they'll get the game underway.
Yeah. Something controversial or something interesting.
So Russell Smith looks to get the game underway. And a big game for both sides this afternoon. Good to start the new year with a victory. Gareth Stevens immediately finds Gary Mercer running out that ball. Mercer over the advantage line there, over the 20-metre zone. Jim Fallon comes inside looking for work. Dixon. So switching play there, clever Mercer, Iro. And Iro shrugging off Phil Ford. And Ford will be keen to impress this afternoon against his old colleagues. Steve Malloy. So up to the last tackle, Leeds have done well there. They've brought the ball to just outside the Salford 20-metre. It's a Salford half. That's kicked downfield and it's picked up by Cruikshank. Burkitt. That's good tackling from Craig Innes. And David Young, another ex-liner, will be keen to impress this afternoon. Coleman, lovely ball there inside. That's for Ian Blaze, the captain. Coleman, it's one of those clever kicks in for Alan Tate. So nothing much happening in the first few minutes, Steve. Both sides testing each other out.
Yeah, very much so. But you can see already the potential in the Leeds team, showing the cohesion, I think, quite early on, and running the ball clear. And just at the moment, like this, Ellery Hanley, oh, how good it is to see that man running with the ball.
Yes, nice to see Ellery back after his injury problems since he joined Leeds. Gary Mercer, another one who sustained a broken jaw in his first match for Leeds. It's interesting to see how Gareth Stevens copes. He's been playing very well in the A team. And just take him in on there. We're up to the last tackle. Schofield with the kick. And that finds touch. It'll be the first scrum of the game. 12 metres or so from that Salford line behind ball to the Red Devils. And Craig Coleman now signed totally with the English club Salford after playing many years at South Sydney. Had a stint, of course, with Leeds and Hull. That ball out, and Tex Evans coming in from the wing and straight there at Alan Tate. And a good tackle there on Critchley, the former Widnes player. Coleman dancing through, looking to offload there. Critchley again, but this time he slips. And Gary Mercer gratefully completes the tackle, and that's... And nothing too untoward about that tackle on Alan Tate. The crowd didn't like it, Steve Malloy. The ball's with Schofield, using his short side dummy, and goes himself, Schofield. And takes play into the Salford half of the field, so Leeds in possession in the Salford half of the field. Mercer. You know why, that's a lovely ball for Iro, and Iro's through there. And that's for Fallon, and Fallon's got Hanley with him. Well, that should have really been a try to Leeds there. Jim Fallon throwing the dummy, and David Cruikshank coming across and tackling well, Steve.
Yeah, but good play from Leeds. Without a doubt, they opened Salford, and Leeds right there. And it was full credit to Cruikshank for preventing an inside pass that would have brought certainly the first try for Leeds. But Leeds, unlike Salford, who struggled to make ground from their own 20-metre area in their play, Leeds, crisp passing, found the opening on the outside. So Andy Burgess. Andy Burgess looks forward, really bulked himself up since I first saw him in the A-team. Tremendous prospect. Coleman again now. It's a lovely ball there. Burkitt. Tex Evans puts it down. And Dixon in possession for Leeds. Craig Innes. Take him in on and beating him. A lot of confidence in Craig Innes' play of late. Schofield. Mercer again now. Mercer looks for that gap. Hanley looks for the run around with Kevin Iro. Iro will straighten up and use his quite considerable bulk to drive forward. Taking play further down into the Salford half of the field now. Schofield for Leeds. It's a lovely ball out to Innes. Innes inside for Simon Irving. Irving just trips up there as he came inside. Big game for Simon Irving, his first full game of the season. Mike O'Neill. Hanley again, that's good play from Leeds. So we're up to the last tackle now. Will Leeds place the ball, or will they run this ball? We've got men to spare over on that short side. Gareth Stevens puts a chip kick through.
That goes out, so again, good passing there from Leeds, Steve.
Oh, without a doubt, again making ground with every play, having men in support, going forward, breaking the tackle. But again, credit to the Salford defence that they held out well and prevented that Leeds attack culminating in a score. But Leeds certainly having the better of these opening stages now, Stuart.
And Smith just checks with his linesman whether that was a knock-on. Coleman. Blakely. Coleman again, that's good play, enterprising stuff there, Evans. And Innes coming back there. Just settling things down for Leeds. The Leeds will work the ball through Gareth Stevens. Mercer now, he's had a big game so far this afternoon, and here's one who certainly has. Kevin Ido, Fallon. O'Neill finds Steve Malloy. Malloy, lovely ball, and takes on that ball, and a great tackle there. In fact, that's going to be a penalty. Tugger Coleman. It'll be a penalty to Leeds. So penalty there from Leeds. Steve, how did you see that penalty decision there?
Yeah, definitely. The way the rules are today, it definitely had to be a penalty with no malice in it, but it's the way it goes. Luckily, he was there to stop the player going through, I reckon.
OK, that's Steve Gibson. You'll be hearing more from him as the game progresses. So Leeds will have a shot at goal with Simon Irving. It's certainly kickable as this. It's 30 metres out, right on that 30-metre line. And Simon in fine form last week. And 5 from 7 when he came in a substitute for Carl Gibson. And as Steve Gibson said, anything now above that neck area must be penalised. Been playing about 7 minutes. And Simon Irving it is who. And it's pulled that wide, so spurning the chance there to put Leeds 2 points ahead, so it'll be a dropout on that 20-metre line. The drop out finds Headingley, and Headingley in that familiar style of his comes running back there, bumping men off as he goes. Oh, and a good tackling there on the far side from number 3, Critchley. Fallon. Laws will let Steve Malloy drive, and Malloy picks up James Laws, still trying to step out of the tackle. Schofield. It's a lovely long ball out there to Simon Irving, and Irving hanging on there. A short ball, and Gary Mercer will drive forward. And straight into David Young. Paul McCarty from British Lions player, and Schofield puts a kick in. Floats over nicely, and that finds touch. Well, so far, Steve, Leeds certainly have most of the aces, most of the play being in the Salford half of the field.
Yes, and Leeds controlling the ball, looking to play with more purpose, and perhaps this is a sign of Salford's rustiness. 32 days without a game really is a very long time, but Salford are hanging on. They've not conceded any points at this stage of the game, and considering the amount of play that Leeds have had, that's no mean achievement, I would say.
Yes, they've done well, Salford, so far. I've been impressed with the tackling and the cover defence, and the scramble defence has been excellent there. The Cruikshank stop on Jim Fallon saved a certain try, so Salford bringing that ball away. Ian Blaze. Coleman. Blakely. Burkitt, that's a good ball there for Cruikshank in the line. And a good tackle from Craig Innes, and Craig Innes come of age as a rugby league player this season, as Leeds have struggled. Craig Innes has been in fine form week in and week out. David Young gets over the advantage line, good running there. Plays the ball himself. And knocked on, and no interference there, said the referee. He played the ball to himself. And Dixon. Gary Mercer. Fallon will twist and turn, but he won't get out of that tackle. That's a great tackle there from Arthur Bradshaw. That's a drop off there from Gareth Stevens, and he finds Mike O'Neill, but Salford defence holding out at the moment as Leeds trying to work their way down the middle of the field. And this lovely ball there, that's for Kevin Ido, but well read there by the Salford cover. Stevens again, will take men on. So up to the last tackle, Leeds struggle to make ground in this set of 6. And a penalty there to Leeds, and second of the game. Pretty straightforward penalty there under the Raws now, Steve, just holding down there on the tackle.
Yes. Only the second penalty of the game so far, which is an indication, I think, of the good spirit that the game's certainly being played in. But again, Leeds very strongly on attack, just on the Salford 20-metre line.
So Jamie Laws will tap this ball. Simon Irving will run. And that takes play now just into that 20-metre area, the dangerous area as far as Salford are concerned. Oh, and Steve Malloy cuffs that up through the windscreen. Well led off there for Salford. Malloy been in fine form this season. And the forward pass there. So again, Salford let off the hook there with Steve Malloy, and then doing a silly mistake there in throwing a bad pass.
Yes, it was obviously forward, but a nice little break from Craig Coleman in possession, and it's a pity one of the speedier man wasn't up in support, because there might have been an opportunity for Salford to get into the Leeds half. As it is, it's Leeds again.
Kevin Ido trying to bust his way through, and Eastern support couldn't get the ball away. Leeds stacking men up now on this left-hand side of Paul Dixon. And Dixon again up to the 10-metre line, so Leeds pressing strongly now. Blows at acting half, finds Hanley. Hanley looking to go himself there. Clamp man and ball, that's good tackling from Salford. Not the easiest man to tackle in possession of the football, Larry Hanley. James Law spots the gap, goes himself, takes play even nearer now. Leeds just 5 metres short of that line. Hanley in possession, moves it out with Schofield. Well, Schofield, long passes there for Dixon. And Dixon, that's for Craig Innes, and that's for Alan Tate, and that's a try to Leeds there. The first try of the game then to Leeds, to Alan Tate, on 15 minutes. So well worked move there, Steve. Alan Tate carving a lovely try out for himself.
Yeah, we've been under a lot of pressure, Salford. They had a chance to relieve it, and they unluckily threw a forward pass, so Leeds went straight back on the pressure. And without getting out of our half, sooner or later had to crack, and it was just good backing up by Leeds. The Salford defenders are there, but the attack by Leeds was good enough to get Alan Tate over for a pretty simple try in the end.
And Gary Mercer going off, and substitute coming on for Leeds, it'll be Paul Anderson. Gary Mercer going straight to the dressing room, so he could have a cut. So Simon Irving now strikes that, so it's converted by Irving. Leeds 6, Salford 0. Well, Salford about to kick off with Blakely, former Wigan player. And again, that's for Gareth Stevens, and this time Paul Dixon will run that ball out with purpose. Fallon coming in, looking for work. Well, that's good running from Leeds there. Made 30 metres from that kick-off. In 4 tackles. Schofield now. And Tate goes without the football. Just taking his eye off the ball, and Salford in position now. And the first time they've really been in any sort of position in the Leeds half of the field. Martin Burkitt, just Ian Blaze. David Young. That's inside for Coleman. Cruikshank on Coleman's shoulder, former half-back partners at South Sydney. Cruikshank normally a half-back. Tugger going on his own there, that's good play. And Stasica up towards the 10-metre line, so Salford pressing strongly now. And takes Evans, is he over in the corner? So no try there. Giving a knock on the referee. Knocked on over the line, so it'll be a 10-metre scrum.
Well, that was a good attack from Salford. We saw them actually breaking tackles, making ground and having men in support then, and really put together a good move, Craig Coleman in particular. And there's Salford chasing off from that scrum, but being penalised for a little bit of over-exuberance in that tackle or for something. But that was a good push from Salford, and for the first time really contributing on attack in this game.
Yes, that was a good play from Salford there. Taking play right to the Leeds line. And then a penalty given away, referee said, that's not found touch. So Cruikshank again will bring that ball, and Salford are meant to spare on that side. So Leeds defence coming over now. Yeah, good tackle from Ido on Critchley. And Ford will look for the stride today. And Ido just pushing him back from that 10-metre area. Coleman. So 10 metres from that line, Salford now in possession. Stasica will play the ball. It's a chip across there, and that's Alan Tate that picks up for Leeds.
Well, it was good play again from Salford from that penalty that didn't find touch. Critchley going across field, but then holding on, and Ford not able to make any ground back into the middle. It fizzled out a little bit tamely in the centre of the park with a kick through. But Leeds having the chance to recover, regroup, and now lining up well to move this ball forward on attack. But Salford playing well, and that has to be a penalty for Salford for offside. So a good spell from Salford, Stuart, at last.
Yes, that's good pressure there. And Salford getting the advantage of a penalty there. Leeds just trying to go from acting half at the ball, spilling from James Lawes and Paul Anderson. Reflex action, I suppose all rugby players do it, falling on the loose ball. So Blakely will attempt to put Salford's first points of the day on the board. It's just outside the 20-metre area. And Salford's first penalty of that game. The penalty's 3-1 to Leeds, and the scrum's 3-2 to Salford.
Stuart, we shouldn't say things like this, but this young man's got a remarkable record since he's joined Salford. You know what I'm going to say to you? He hasn't missed one yet, and we hope this isn't going to be the first one. He had the chance against St Helens. He's got 3 out of 3 in that game, and he also scored 3 out of 3 against Hull. It was first game was against Wigan, so we hope that he can maintain that sort of record on this ground, this famous ground at Headingley, in front of a packed crowd today. And he does. Good kick from him. Big crowd today, Stuart. What would you say this was? 13, 14,000?
I would say about 13 to 14.
13, 14,000. Great day for the game, and pitch in immaculate condition. Looks really good.
Yes, the underside leadings worked well for Leeds. They did have a game on Boxing Day here, and while most of the other matches were called off, Leeds, the underside leading, which was a great investment, has paid off. And incidentally, there was 20,000 people here on Boxing Day, and that was a tremendous crowd. So Salford then, I've got that advantage now of getting their first points of the day on the board. And Anderson's try there on Arthur Bradshaw. That was a right tackle. But Salford will play this percentage football, which is really good to watch. A knock-on spotted there by the referee. So scrum, heading ball to Leeds. Under 21 international Paul Anderson, who made that tackle. So that's out to Leeds. Schofield goes his sell. That's good running there from Gary Schofield. Dixon, and certainly running with purpose this afternoon. Paul Dixon. Malloy trying to get through the tackle there of Andy Burgess. Stevens finds Schofield. Hanley, Hyro, and Fallon. 6 more tackles, saying that touched to Salford and there. And James Lawes. Oh, that ball punched out there from Lawes, but Salford back in possession. Tex Evans coming in field. Got a good tackle from Simon Irving. Burkitt. A Leeds Polytechnic student, Martin Burkitt, so he'll be familiar with the city, if not the ground. David Young. Ian Blease. Burkitt, that's a good tackle from Craig Innes. And Bradshaw's only got 8 to beat, and Simon Irving comes back and nails him there. Clever play there from Salford from Bradshaw. And it was... And Schofield eventually having to boot that ball dead for Leeds.
Well, what exciting play that was from Salford, and it was Stasiker at the end of the move that took the men on, and Evans actually wasn't up in support of him. The kick through at the end caused all sorts of problems in the Leeds defence, and in the end it was Schofield who booted it clear. But Salford's best period of play so far, and really if they can take advantage of this and put points on the board now, it will be a great asset to them in the course of this game, because certainly it's a game which for the first 20 minutes Leeds totally dominated.
Yes, and Salford, as they've got more possession, have come back into this game and played some attractive football, and almost brought a try there from Stasiker. So Leeds again under the caution, their own 20-metre area. Coleman, Blakely. Oh, and a Leeds defence there, just keeping him out. It's good play from Salford. Blakely and Coleman trying to work the oracle, so we're up to the last tackle now. Jim Fallon grounds the ball behind his own line, so a good enterprising set of 6 there from Salford, Steve.
Certainly, and the chance of another 6. That was excellent place. It was Blakely that caught the eye in that move in trying to create the opening. He got his pass on to Critchley, he timed it well, but Critchley couldn't quite make it over the line. But even so, certainly Salford's best period of this game continues. Let's hope they take this ball cleanly and really get back into the game by making it count, and that is putting points on the board.
So Phil Ford, a real relish his run against Leeds. Running across the field, straightening up now. Straight into Gareth Stevens. So Salford had a fine spell in possession. And only the 2 points to show for it. 25 minutes gone, Leeds 6, Salford 2. David Young. And wrapped up there by young Paul Anderson. In fact, Young struggling on. Coleman. For Andy Burgess. And Salford again, 10 metres from that Leeds line. The Leeds defence is short of men on that left-hand side. Coleman. Oh, knocked on there. Craig Coleman knocking on over the line.
Oh, that's so often been the story for Salford this season. They've done all the hard work, they've gained the position, they've played the rugby, they've put the moves together, and the final pass has somehow just eluded the player who was going to score, and that was a very clear scoring opportunity that would have put Salford very much back into the game. As it is, Leeds get possession from the scrum, and Leeds, they've got the players with the ability, the speed and the pace to score from anywhere on this pitch, and Salford have to be on their mettle in their tackling mode again. But a good period of play from Salford, Stuart, I hope you'll agree.
Yes, I know, it was a tremendous play there from Salford. They've had lots of possession in the last 10 minutes or so, and they've worked it well. Just the 2 points to show, but good enterprising play there, and almost a try to Craig Coleman. Schofield then. Looks for Hanley, decides to go himself. Steve Malloy, and we're up to the last tackle. And Alan Tate will put the kick in this time, and that spins down there. That's for Cruikshank. Cruikshank letting that ball run behind him. Picks it up. And the Leeds covers up quickly, and Cruikshank will have to run across field looking for an opening. In fact, he runs straight at Paul, at Jamie Laws. And brought down there, round the ankles, textbook tackle. Coleman again, he's certainly the general and the organiser. That's Burkitt struggling to get through the tackle, floating. This is good play from Salford. Stazika wrapped up there, man and ball. Coleman. Oh, and Bleasy's pass has gone behind, but it's for Phil Foden. Ford will run this ball, step in, but only as far as Kevin Ido. And that's a good run there from number 12, Ian Blease. We're up to the last tackle. And Leeds will counter-attack through Alan Tate. And bringing that almost back to where the kick was made. That's good running from Tate. Fallon coming in field, looking for work. Steve Malloy. Schofield finds Gareth Stevens. And Anderson now using his quite considerable bulk to power his way down the middle of the field. Hanley spots a gap from acting half. Takes play to 25 metres from the Salford line. Jamie Laws plays the ball, finds Schofield. Leeds on the attack. Short ball there for Gareth Stevens. And that's for Kevin Ido, and that's going to be a try to Leeds, and Ido will make it count by going all the way under the post. But once again there, sixth tackle. Salford hanging back, I think, for the kick, Steve.
Yes, and they gave them just too much room. Steve, how did you see that try?
Well, Salford's had all the ball down in Leeds half for the last 10 minutes. Didn't come up with 6 points, unlucky on 2 or 3 occasions. Leeds have got back up there, got to the fifth tackle. Instead of kicking, they've run it. Caught Salford one short on the blind side, and they've gone over. It's a bit of a kick in the guts for Salford because they were looking so good up until this stage. Hopefully they can get back down there and score one just before half-time.
Yes, he did well there, Kevin Ido came in under the post. Salford just seemed to give up the chase a bit there and could have probably stopped him further out. But good move there from Schofield and Gareth Stevens, and Simon Irvin will make no mistake. So that's 12 points to 2. Leeds in the lead now. 30 minutes gone. So you've heard from Steve Ramswoodham and Steve Gibson on that try. Salford conceding there after a good spell of pressure's brought them, as Steve says, nothing at all to show. So Blakely again with the kick-off now. And that again is for Gareth Stevens, and this time he'll find Gary Mercer back on the field after having his cut stitched. Voted the best second row forward in the game by his fellow professionals last year. Jim Fallon in field looking for work. That's good play from Fallon. Using his size and ability well there. Steve Malloy now. And Laws in support as ever, finds Mike O'Neill. And Mike O'Neill will be killed to have a good game this afternoon. His brother Steve on the Salford bench, he's on the coaching staff at the Willows. Dixon. And that's back inside for Schofield. Schofield bumps men off. Still going, great game from Gary Schofield. Tremendous play. Mercer and Leeds have got holes in the Salford defence there. Tate in the line, and Salford up quickly there, stopping him and snuffing out the danger. Hanley. It's a little chip up the field, that's for Cruikshank. Cruikshank immediately into the waiting arms of Kevin Ido. So good enterprising stuff again there from Leeds, Steve.
Oh, without a doubt, they went up a gear then and put together an excellent series of plays. Although it has to be said that Schofield's run was aided a little bit by some woeful Salford tackling. But in the end, it was Cruikshank who came to Salford's rescue, judging the catch of the kick to perfection, and now Salford trying to work this ball clear themselves.
They will do that. Blakely goes from acting half. Mike O'Neill wrapping him up. Blees. And picked up for Leeds by Gareth Stevens, and Stevens jinking. And that running pass there to Kevin Ida will have done wonders for the youngsters' confidence. Still only 18-year-old Gareth Stevens still qualifies for academy football. And the ball knocked into touch, so Salford can breathe again. That was early in the tackle count. And Salford bringing 2 substitutes on in Rob Ackerman, former Leeds player, and John Gilfillan, formerly of Wigan. And it's going to be Martin Burkitt that goes off. And number 11, Arthur Bradshaw. So a fresh pair of legs in the forwards and the backs for Salford. And Coleman waits to feed this scrum. Critchley. And Critchley's got pace if he gets away. The Leeds cover. Hanley doing remarkably well there, getting him at the second attempt. Cruikshank. Tex Evans. Oh, that's good playing. Craig Innes is coming over there. Ackerman will run at Alan Tate. Good play again there, Steve.
Oh, excellent, and that was Gilfillan's first touch of the ball, really proving decisive, and now Salford have a chance on that far side if the ball can go wide. Now there are men over. Ian Blees again, but the play's halted. Good, excellent Leeds defence there, Stuart. Brilliant Leeds defence.
Yes, Salford looked to have Leeds stretched and just took the wrong option by coming back inside, and then the cover came across and good tackling from Iado. So Salford have turned certainly defence into attack. Coleman calling the shots. It's for Cruikshank. And a good tackle from Mercer. So Salford just on that 20-metre line. We're up to the last tackle. Mark Leader hooker. That's a clever kick for Simon Irving, and Irving will do well to get out there. In fact, he does remarkably well. A good play from Salford and a good piece of football there from Simon Irving. Innes now. Leeds using the backs to run this ball out now. Mercer. Hanley. Hanley pushes men off. Picked up there and unceremoniously dumped to the floor. And that's back for Schofield for the kick. And that spins beautifully into touch there. So Salford defending well there, keeping Leeds within 30 metres of that line. That's another scrum out to the Red Devils. Andy Burgess. He's lost the ball. And Leeds in possession with Craig Innes. So a lot of unenforced others coming into the Salford play, Steve.
Yes, it's disappointing to see that they're dropping the ball. Perhaps on that occasion it was nudged out of his hand slightly, but even so, possession in the first few tackles is vital at all times. Leeds on the attack.
Hanley stepping now. Oh, that's great play from Hanley. Hanley's got Schofield with him, couldn't get the ball inside there. Spotted the gap, Hanley there, still so strong. Schofield goes himself, using the open side with Gareth Stevens. James Lowes. So Leeds a metre short now. And they tried just before half-time, would be just what Leeds could do with here. They must score here, Leeds. And 6 more tackles then as far as Leeds are concerned. Simon Irving will take that ball back up there. And then timely interception there from Tex Evans, I think it was.
Gilfillan, but it still Leeds. Yep, it was Gilfillan, but it still Leeds in possession and going for this next try. Schofield.
Oh, here comes Salford now, mistake there. And that's give Ford a run. Ford trying to turn Fallon inside out. And Coleman, that's great play from Salford. Well, Leeds who almost scored, looked like almost conceded one then, Steve.
Yeah, but it was great play from Leeds. They built on that attack and threw the ball around well. They had so many men on the right-hand side queuing up for the ball. And unfortunately, the pass went behind the Leeds player. But I mean, fortunately from the Salford point of view, because it gave them the opportunity to break clear. But perhaps that break shows the difference between the two teams. In that position, Leeds would have gone like at least another 50 more yards, but Salford just couldn't get the men with the speed in support to take the passes. But nevertheless, Salford now breaking clear and in the Leeds half again.
Yes, and they'll be hoping to score just before half-time. 12 points to 2, they trail. We're up to the last couple of minutes of normal time. David Young, oh, that's powerful running there from Young, taking play into that 20-metre area. The Leeds defence strung out Coleman. Ackerman runs it. Hanley, and Hanley bringing him down well there. The leader, Hooker, trying to get over, trying to go from acting half. One of the best footballing hookers in the game, Matt Lee. And Blakely's in for the try there. I'll let Steve describe that try here.
Well, they had men lined up on the left-hand side of the field, but it was young Stephen Blakely who dummied to pass, then went back inside, stepped round one man, then another, and threw himself over the line for his first try for the club, and a try that's come at a very important time for Salford if they're going to get back into this game, because it now brings them back to 6 points of the lead score at 12 points to 6, and couldn't have come at a better time, Stuart.
So the conversion will put Salford just 4 points behind. And it's successful. So Blakely responsible for all the 8 points. Tex Evans will take the pass and run the ball out. Coleman. And there goes a hooter at the end of the first half, so which saw Leeds take the honours for the first 20 minutes and open the scoring in 15 minutes. Irving converted, it was 6-0, and then Salford had a penalty and Blakely got his first points of the game. It was 6-2, and then Iro with a try for Leeds, and Irving converted, it was 12 points to 2, and then right on half-time Blakely done with the Leeds defence, got over from the acting half-back position, converted himself, and it was 12 points to 8, and that's how it stands here at half-time at Headingley. Leeds 12, Salford 8.
Steve, Salford have been without a game for quite a long time, and there have been some rule changes. Is it something that Salford have had to work on in training during the month of December?
Yeah, very much. The last couple of games we played in, they brought it in, and it was a bit of a shock to the system. So maybe in a sense we were lucky to have 6 weeks to be able to work on the 10-yard rule, especially in defence. It's getting back in attack. It's good in attack, but in defence you've got to be able to get back and come forward again. Kevin and Terry worked a lot on that.
The Salford have had a bit of an up and down season. They've had some tremendous successes, namely Castleford, for example, and they played so well against St Helens and Wigan, and yet they've had some disappointing performances as well. Is there anything that you as a player can put your finger on and say why they should be?
Yeah, as you said, there's a couple of games we should have definitely won. We seem to go well against the good teams, not quite good enough, and then let ourselves down against teams like Bradford and Hull Car. Start of the year. It's hard to say what it is. It's attitude. We're out there today against Leeds, and they've got their heads on right. It's been 6 weeks, so it's hard, but they seem to be doing all right. So I really can't put my finger on what the problem is. So, no.
Is the spirit still good in the camp? That top 8 spot, is that something that's still a target for everybody this season?
I think we went from about 6th to 10th without playing a game, so we're a bit unlucky there. We've got a couple of games in hand. Very important game today, so if we can win that, we've got 2 or 3 games in hand on some of the teams, so we can definitely finish in the top 8's priority. Hopefully we can finish 5th or 6th, somewhere like that.
And how long is it before we're going to be being able to enjoy watching Steve Gibson play out there again?
Well, yeah, well, that's not fully up to me, Steve. Hopefully I'll get a few A-game games in next. I haven't played for 6 weeks now myself, so hopefully the frost will get away and I can get a few games in and prove myself. OK, well, we know it's always a pleasure watching you play, Steve, and also watching the rest of the Salford team, but can we wish you a happy new year and to all the other lads, and let's make every home game a victory for us this season, the rest of the season. Thank you very much, Steve. Thank you.
So Gary Schofield about to get this second half underway, and you'll be hearing more this second half from Steve Gibson, the Salford fullback, who's making his way back from injury. Schofield in. Tex Evans. Leeds leading then 12 points to 8, having conceded that try just on the stroke of half-time. Ackerman. David Young now. Former Leeds player, of course. Keen to make a big impression this afternoon. Coleman. Taking men on there, and Mike O'Neill wrapping him up. Blakely with the kick. It's a high spinning ball. And Jim Fallon has to run back a mile to pick that up. And Salford up very quickly. Iro then. Looking for a way through for Leeds. Tremendously strong player, Kevin Iro. Stevens, Owen Dixon charging onto that ball. So both sides come out well fired up for this second half. Steve Malloy. Stevens again. It's fine for Schofield. Balls for Iro, and Iro picks up well there. In through the gap. And Schofield will kick. Floats one over the top, that's back. Cruikshank, then back in position for Salford. Ackerman. On, steps through James Lawes' tackle. Andy Burgess, and that's good football. Blakely taking men on, still going. And men in support, Blaze, that's great play from Salford. Some good football there, Steve, from Salford.
Yeah, they've come out with a bit of purpose in the second half, and it's good to see Leeds are taking a bit casual and Salford are going forward with the ball and looking good.
Well, Salford pressing strongly now, Mark Lee. What's the cheap kick throw there? And Fallon having a touchdown, so... enterprising set of 6.
Yeah, that's looks good. Leeds' first set of 6, they were keen to get the ball out wide, but no one was taking the ball forward, so they struggled a bit. Salford got the ball back, gone forward well. As you said, put the ball over behind the line. They've done that well all day today, and they've got the ball going forward again, so hopefully they can go over for one now.
And the Headingley fans don't really mind as though Salford what a great player Craig Coleman is.
Yeah, he's having a good game today. He's causing a bit of havoc for Leeds fans. He's been well supported by the forwards who are going forward really well.
So that's Steve Gibson. Salford back in possession then from that dropout. Ian Blease on. Just took his eye off that ball there. So the Leeds crowd now will try and lift the liners as Gary Mercer powers onto that pass. And only as far as David Young. Lowes looks for Steve Malloy. Malloy throwing a dummy. And Gibson going on that, Dixon, sorry, going on that dummy run. Evans taking men on himself. Schofield. Slipping there and still managing to get the pass away to Alan Tate. O'Neill. And Salford. So both sides just lacking a bit of concentration, Steve.
Yeah, it's, as you said, it's got a bit willy-nilly. Leeds can be disappointed with the half-back filling in Van der Greg today. He's having a fine game. He's got guys coming off him, but as I said, they're just a bit casual and the ball's going to ground. It's been mistake-ridden all day. I don't know whether it's conditions or what, whether it's cold out there, but 2 big mistakes by Salford and Leeds, and here's Salford away now.
Well, Salford away from that scrum. Tex Evans coming in field. And Salford scrums 5-4 to Leeds in the first half, and the penalties 3-2 to the men from Headingley. Salford have redressed that balance with that scrum. David Young now, Salford piling on pressure. Coleman's long pass there, finds Blakely coming off Andy Burgess, and again Lee. And Lee scores, and Salford and draw level there, great try. Great side there from the hooker Lee, Stephen.
Yeah, it was just backing up. Leeds aren't going in fully in their tackles. They're letting Salford stand. The ball went about 6 or 7 set of hands before Mark Lee was able to duck through 2 tackles and score what is going to be a pretty crucial try for Salford. Their tails are up as it's only 5 minutes into the second half. Leeds are going to have to buck their ideas up or they'll cop the run of Salford coming forward again.
That's right, 4 minutes then into this second half. And that's put Salford in the lead from being 12-2 down. They'll be 14 points to 12 in the lead. Converts, 14 points to 12 then. We've seen Leeds come back from these sort of deficits in the last few weeks. They've been behind in most of the games they've played recently. So Paul Anderson comes on from Mike O'Neill. And Schofield then. Evans. Stasic here. And Coleman running with that ball, taking him in on. Ian Blease. A good set of 6 this from Salford, just settling play down. Blakely will put the kick in. Alan Tate picks the ball up. And Fallon now looking for work, coming in, running across the field. Oh, good tackling from Salford there, bringing him down 10 metres out, so Leeds feeling the pressure at the moment. Simon Irving will run out. And the Salford fans behind the sticks to our left, really behind the lads. Mercer. Lows. The Leeds all at 6s and 7s at the moment. Can't get the ball out. Paul Anderson it will run and Iado. And throws a pass out there to Fallon on that ball and straight into touch, and that's good try. Good defence there from Salford, Steve.
Yeah, it was 4 really good tackles. It put Leeds under a bit of pressure, and Iro's just panicked there with trying to get a ball away that wasn't necessary. He could have got the kick downfield, but good set of 6 tackles there by Salford. They've got the ball in at 25 now. It could be dangerous again for Leeds.
Well, Coleman then feeds the scrum. Schofield there, Weiss and Craig Coleman move. Ackerman. Gilfillan. Take him in on and drive him forward, John Gilfillan. To Coleman again. Looks for the run around this time. Blease. Strong running there from Blease. The referee says that's gone backwards. Well, Lee trying to duck his way into tackles. And the Leeds crowd not happy with that decision, but looked good from up here. Coleman. A good tackle by Iado there. That was a try-saving tackle. Up to the last tackle. Coleman puts a cross-field kick in. And Leeds just watch it go, Dave. Gareth Stevens. Looks for the gap there, looks for support. Leeds into the Salford half of the field. Mercer. And that Schofield is inside there to Hanley. That's going to be a try. Is it? Ford's chasing him, but he won't catch Ellery Hanley. Hanley goes over there. Well, Steve, a typical Leeds try, I would say.
Yeah, they've taken the ball, tapped the ball over 25. Their first 3 drives made them 35 yards, which had Salford pedalling backwards, and it was just good ball inside Hanley, who had no one in opposition right across, but it was a work. 2 props took the ball 12 yards each time they took the ball up, and had Salford going backwards, and it was harder to defend that way.
Well, that's a try then to Leeds, which takes them, restores the lead. And a try to Hanley. And the popular man Ellery Hanley is at Leeds these days. So Simon Irving leads 2 points to the good, and Simon Irving will attempt to convert the try, which is successful. So Leeds 18 points to 14 in the lead then. And Leeds answering Salford straight back there when it mattered most, over the try line with the try to else but Headingley. And of course he scored that try for England against Wales. Well, Dixon picks the ball up now, and Leeds starting to run with some real purpose with that try from Salford's. Really fired him up there. Good play from Gary Mercer. Picked up a difficult ball well there. Anderson. Well, Anderson battling his way down the middle of the field. And as Steve said, it's difficult to Schofield. Got Malloy there. Malloy pumping men off. Can't get the pass inside. That's good running again from Leeds. Hanley. Gareth Stevens has got Dixon there for the ball inside. Dixon brought down there up to the last tackle just outside the 20-metre area. Hanley puts a crossfield kick in, that's for Iro, and Ford to chase, and Ford kicking that dead. Well, again, Leeds turning defence into attack, Stephen.
Yeah, they're on a roll now. They've got the crowd right behind them. Salford's early try in the second half made them realise that they have to pick their ideas up. They've done it well. They've had another really good set of 6 there, and they've got the ball coming back at them now, so Salford will have to make sure the defence tightens up.
Yes, Salford to drop out there. Phil Ford having to kick that ball many a mile into the stand. And Gary Mercer is then, and a crowd in the south stand right behind Leeds as Mercer powers up towards the 20-metre line. That's a penalty there, diving round at the play of the ball. A very clean game this, only the 6 penalties. And Schofield will find a good touch. Laws will bring Fallon in on a run. Jim Fallon almost making a break there. Steve Malloy battling for that line. That's a try to Leeds. In fact, Russ Smith says it's held just short there. Gareth Stevens collared round the neck there. Looked like a try all the way there to Leeds. Steve Malloy stretching out. Hanley goes himself now. He's got men to spare on this side. Dancing, dodging, weaving. Finds Tate. Finally in support. Tate's through the gap there. Oh, and that's a bad decision there by Russell Smith. There was no knock on in that move. No knock on there, Steve. Looked a bad decision by the ref.
Yeah, well, if the referee was standing up here, he would have definitely awarded the try. Phil Ford got in the rate of a pass, so it's come off Phil Ford, so Salford can breathe with a bit of luck there.
Yes, and you need a bit of luck in this game. Salford now back in possession. Well, Leeds will look to keep Salford pinned down in this 20-metre area. Referee Russ Smith, he couldn't see there, to be fair. And that's a good tackle there. Into touch there. A good tackle from Leeds there. All in one motion, they're just banging him into touch, Steve.
Yeah, it's another really bad mistake by Salford. It's the last thing they need. They've been under that much pressure down here. They need to get the ball away and kick it as far as they could, where now it's definitely going to be a Leeds ball, and the defence it's been at 6 and 7. They were unlucky not to get a try last time, Leeds, so they'll be hoping to get one this time.
Schofield now finds Innis. Innis stops off there for Alan Tate. Schofield, what a magic player Gary Schofield is. Irving now, he's got Ford to beat. Strong is Simon Irving, and that's a try to Leeds. Straight from the base of the scrum, Steve. Ball moved right out along the field, and Irving going into the corner despite the attention of 2 defenders.
Yeah, it was a really good move by Leeds. I thought the Salford lads might have knocked Irving into touch there. They'll be disappointed they didn't, but a bit of class in the back line there by Schofield, and Tate got the ball out wide, and he was good enough to score in the corner. That's exactly what Salford didn't need. It's what Leeds wanted. It'll be hard for Salford to come back from here.
And Salford trying to bring a more mobile forwards on. This game hotting up now after being a bit stagnant for a long time. So Salford kicking off, and Gary Mercer quickly into his stride. Malloy, almost a try scorer. Steve Malloy stretched out there. That's good tackling from Lee. James Lowe stepping, going from back in half. Hanley goes himself there. Shot ball there is for Anderson. And Anderson powers his way. Stevens in support, Lowe's. And Lowe's just couldn't get that ball away up to the last tackle. Good play from Leeds. Hanley now. This time it's for Fallon. Good take from Fallon, stepping inside. And that's the sixth tackle, says Russell Smith. So again, Leeds turning defence into attack, Steve.
Yeah, they've got a couple of good ones. The hooker's having a good game, and the halfback backs up everything. He makes gaps, and he runs two gaps. He's having a really good game, and they're looking very dangerous up the middle. Salford have got to try and tighten the defence around the ruck.
Yes, Gareth Stevens having a splendid game for Leeds, standing in for Andy Gregory. And a lot of talk being made about Jason Robinson at Wigan. Well, Jason Robinson was hunted by Leeds at the same time as Gareth Stevens. Leeds opted for Gary Stevens. And although Jason Robinson did exceptionally well for Wigan, he's only played 1 or 2 games in his natural position. But Gareth Stevens played all his first team matches for Leeds. That's his 7th this season, and many last season in that position of scrum half. Difficult to come into the game and play at scrum half. That's got to be a forward pass. Ball just slipping out of his hand, I think, there, Steve.
Yeah, he was making the pass. He was getting tackled, but it's not what Salford want. They've got to try and get the ball down there and keep Leeds down there. Half they've been playing. Apart from the try they've scored, they've played the majority of the second half down in their own half, and they want to get out of that, and they won't be doing that through making silly mistakes like that.
A scrum to Leeds. Stevens finds Gary Mercer. Schofield again now. That's a long ball out for Ido, and Ido feeds Fallon immediately. Fallon coming inside. Still going, Jim Fallon. Oh, that's great play from the winger there. And Stevens now leads, powering away. Lowe's. Leeds stacking men up on this left-hand side. Schofield using his options there well. Mike O'Neill, Gary Mercer now. Good play from O'Neill and good tackling there from Tex Evans. Spotted that Gary Mercer was going to part with that ball. That's a penalty there. Well, that can only be for Tex Evans moving off the mark before the ball was played. Steve, how did you see that?
Yeah, he's read it across. I think he's been unlucky. The halfback picked the ball up and was trying to... He dummied Tex to get Tex past. Tex made a pretty good tackle. Whether it wasn't straight on, I'm not sure, but that's the decision's been made, so we've got to stick by it.
Well, Simon Irving then has a chance to put Leeds further in front now with a penalty.
We had a bit of luck. You've got to ride your luck when you get it right.
So Simon Irving, this penalty, it's basically straight. It's about 26 metres from the Leeds line, from the Salford line. So Simon will be hoping to bob this one over. .62 minutes gone, 61 minutes. Simon Irving strikes it high. Away from the crowd, that's successful, so Leeds going further high with a penalty from Simon Irving. 24 points to 14. Salford with a quick kick-off, trying to catch Leeds out there, but Alan Tate run that ball back. Hanley. Steve Malloy will try and turn defence into attack again, and that's good driving by Leeds. Anderson just bumps men off there. What a tremendous prospect Paul Anderson is for Leeds. Most difficult position of all to find when you're signing juniors. Oh, and James Law's out. Oh, and picked up by Ido. That's great play from Leeds. Schofield. Oh. The first offence there. So both sides making mistakes, but that was Kevin Ira coming that ball like a bullet.
Yeah, it was Stevens again. I've given him heaps of raps. He went into the tackle, got the ball away to the hooker who's backing him up well, and I just said a mistake by Salford, knocked the ball down. Ira picked it up on the run. It looked very dangerous there for a while.
Scrum out to Leeds. Salford now bringing that ball away with John Gilfillan. Ackerman straight at Gary Schofield. Coleman, it's a short ball there for Cruikshank, and just ankle tap there, David Cruikshank, as he powered through. That was a good play, and Salford coming away now. It's out for Evans. Evans steps inside Irving. Gilfillan on a copybook tackle from Tate. That's good play from both sides there. So Salford still moving the ball. That's good play from Salford. And that's a knock on the sixth tackle. A good set of six from Salford there, just panicking a bit on the last tackle, Stephen.
Yeah, Salford always go best when they keep the ball. Craig Coleman noticed the defence was going backwards on the blind side, made a really good run, got Tex away. So they should have got the ball up in the air or into touch or something. But anyway, a little bit better by Salford than the right side at half of the field.
Well, Salford then will try and keep Leeds penned down here. Gary Schofield is taking that drive. Mike O'Neill. Stevens again, he's had a tremendous game this afternoon. Anderson. James Laws again in support, finds Hanley. Hanley's got Stevens with him. Again, Tate now, this ball's out now for Ido. Fallon. Now Fallon take him in on this time, he's in at the corner, Fallon. Yes, that's a try to Leeds there. To Jim Fallon in the corner. But good play again there by the Leeds youngsters.
Yeah, they're really setting it. As you said, the hooker's having another blinder. Just keeping the ball alive in the position there, and a nice wide ball with Jim Fallon on the run, and the defence is too stretched to get across and knock him out.
Well, Jim Fallon there doing what Dougie Lawton's been wanting to do all season. That's go straight for that line. Dougie Lawton was telling me when he signed Jim Fallon that he would got a winger lined up who would score tries in the corner. A lovely play from Leeds. Stevens, Anderson, Laws, all the youngsters playing really well, and Tate involved there. So Salford then restart. Alan Tate. Oh, and running round the outside of the covered Alan Tate. Fallon's inside. And good tackle from Phil Ford. Hanley finds Gareth Stevens. Schofield. Long ball will bounce for Simon Irving. Oh, and Irving did well there to get James Laws on a gallop. Mercer. Hanley. Laws again, that's good play. Well, Leeds starting to throw that ball about now in Salford style. That's the style that Salford opted so well up to the Regal Trophy semi-final last year. Ido on the burst now. Fallon picking the ball up. And this time he's held just a metre short, no doubts there, there's no try. Ball back in field into Schofield, Gareth Stevens. Ido picking up for Leeds, Mike O'Neill. O'Neill, is he going to score himself? But Gary Mercer certainly is for Leeds. For Leeds, move that ball out well there, Stephen, and certainly running the tries in now.
Yeah, it's looking sad for Salford. Gary Stevens could even make a mistake and they still come up scoring off his pass there. The ball come to the ground, but they were quick enough to snap it up. I think Mike O'Neill could have scored himself, or maybe last year he might have lost the yard of pace, but he was good enough to give it on to Gary Mercer. It's looking a bit of a worry for Salford now. They've got to make sure that it doesn't end up a thrashing, which will just tear the heart. So they're going to be able to defend. They've got another 10 or so minutes to go, so it's going to be telling time for Salford.
Well, 6 tries to Leeds, 4 goals. And Leeds home and drying this game, and as Steve said, it's just to be hoped that Salford don't get a thrashing. They've not played for a few weeks. There's about 10 minutes or so left. Interesting statistics, Steve, while we're here, that Salford have only had possession for 5 minutes and 46 seconds of this second half.
Yeah, and it showed us that they come out and they had a good 3 or 4 minutes to get the try, and since then they've just they've been backpedaling. The ball they haven't been able to kick it downfield. The only time they've been in the half now is from the kickoffs, and they've really got to buck their ideas up. I just said it could end up in the 50s.
So Gareth Stevens will bring Paul Anderson on the charge. Mercer, that's a good ball there, and he's chasing the line. Oh, look at Alan Tate go, that's tremendous play. Scoville chasing the crossfield kick. Ford it is who picks it up for Leeds. For Salford, that's fraudulent slip there. Phil Ford picks up many times for Leeds. So Salford get a penalty there. A bit of respite. So Salford will kick downfield with Blakely. Stazica. Coleman still trying to work the Oracle, bringing Tex Evans on a gallop. And Gareth Stevens and Kevin Ido just shunting him backwards. Anderson in at the tackle. Coleman again there. Jinking, weaving, dodging, busting out of tackles. Good play there from Coleman. Blees. And that was a bit of a St James's pass there, and Leeds will move that away quickly now. Salford with James Lawes. Steve Malloy. And suddenly it's all come right for Leeds, everybody wanting the ball. This will be the 3rd win on the trot. Innes. That's a high tackle there. And James Lawes moving in. No malice in that tackle, Steve. That's the rules as they play nowadays.
Yeah, it was definitely a penalty to Leeds there. There's no need to blow up after. I think Salford have done it again. They've dropped the ball down in their own half and they've put themselves under immense pressure. Leeds will probably just take the 2 and be happy with it here. Probably suit Salford.
Yes, 2 points would probably suit Salford at this point. The Leeds fans will be disappointed if Leeds don't get 40. They've scored 40 points in the last 3 home games. And Salford are bringing a substitute on. It's David Young coming back on for Jed Stazica. And Simon Irvin will kick a goal. That one is about 5 minutes left for play. Alan Tate goes off for Leeds. Well, Steve Gibson reckons there could be 10 minutes left for play. Alan Tate comes, so Carl Grigg comes on. The Leeds-born Australian. Plays in Perth, but was born in Kirksall Road, so doesn't qualify as an overseas player, and he's here very much on trial. He's played a couple of first-team outings, including the disaster at Sheffield. And he's going straight to full-back. Simon Irvin then will puts over the penalty. And 34 points to 14 then. 5th Leeds goal of the afternoon. 6 tries of penalties at the moment. 5-3 to Leeds, and the scrums tied at 7-all. So another trying to go will bring up the magical 40 for Leeds, which is the Leeds fans will definitely want. Salford will be desperate to keep. O'Grigg. He's got plenty of pace off the mark, Carl Grigg. Typical half-back pace. Won the Player of the Year in the Perth competition in Australia. Oh, that's good running from Steve Malloy. Stevens takes men on now, confidence to go himself. Mercer. Ido will stop and change direction. That's clever play. Oh, and he's away. Ido, he's got Schofield with him. Pass eventually finds Mike O'Neill. Hanley will take it out on that far side. Hanley will dodge and weave and come back inside. Stevens again now. Goes himself, Stevens. And up to the last tackle, so. And a try been awarded there to Jim Fallon. The Leeds going further ahead. 76 minutes. Well, Salford will certainly take their time as far as they're concerned in kicking this off. And Leeds would love to get that 40 points mark up on the board again. Stevens looks for runners, goes himself. Developing into a confident young man now, Gareth Stevens. Great game this afternoon. Fallon, he's eager for the hat-trick. Anderson. Pushes men off there, Lowe's in support again. Hanley. Leeds lose ground with Ellery Hanley in possession there. Good tackling from Rob Ackerman and Andy Burgess. Oh, lovely ball out there. That's out to Irving now. Irving has got men inside him. Comes in. Strong Simon Irving. Great defensive player, great tackler in his rugby union days. Mike O'Neill. Mercer, Ido. That ball, Fallon just overrunning that ball and it slips in a touch. So Salford will try and keep possession, I think, Steve, for the next 6 tackles and just work the ball downfield.
Yeah, they've got to do that. They've just got to keep hold of it for the 6 as kick the ball. So they just said they haven't had the ball at all. So they've got to make sure they use it what they've got now.
Phil Fordy will be disappointed with his defeat today at Leeds. He'd love to come back and turn on the style. Coming into the closing stages of this game then, and Leeds well and truly have it wrapped up at 38 points to 14. And suddenly the little half break's not coming off for Salford that were working so well up to half time. Oh, that's a great ball for Evans. And Evans has got strength and he kicks there and he's got pace as well. Great running there from Tex Evans. Oh, and a great cover defence from Carl Grigg. Well, enterprising stuff there, but the young lad did well to get back. Yeah,
it was good work by Salford. A good backline move. Jonathan Philgill will get the ball out quick to Tex. He did the right thing. He took his chance. He got the ball coming back. He said the fullback did well to cover because Tex was steaming on.
Well, Gareth Stevens down, I think, with cramp. And Leeds will drop out with Gally Schofield and Salford will have another 6 chances. So I don't think Leeds will post up the 40 points this afternoon. David Young picks the difficult ball up at his ankles. And there goes a hooter. So 38 points to 14 then Leeds are victors here. The second half tries after Salford had gone ahead in the second half. 14-12 with a try from Lee. Blakely converted. Leeds sparked into action. A try from Hanley. Irving converted. It was 18-14. And Irving had a try. He couldn't convert, but he kicked a penalty in some 6 minutes later. It was 24-14. 28-14 when Jim Fallon scored the first of his 2 tries. Difficult try to score in the corner. And a merciless try after good work from Mike O'Neill, 32-14. And Simon Irving kicked a penalty, made it 34. And then Jim Fallon had his second try and 30 on 76 minutes, 38 points to 14. That's how it stands here. Well, Steve, I've got Steve Gibson with me. He's been listening to Steve all afternoon. Where now for Salford? They've not played for some while. They've really got to pick themselves up now.
Yeah, it's. I won't say it's a bad loss. They showed a bit of enterprise and taken further. They ran out of ideas in the second half through not having any ball. It's always disappointing to lose, but as you said, we haven't played for that long that they need the run out. Could have been worse getting beat by Leeds or someone. They got beat by Leeds, who are on a roll, so hopefully they can win the next 2 or 3, but they're desperate to get back on a winning run now.
So Leeds have struggled this season with the players they've got, because you had to understand why?
Yeah, I've seen them out there today. It's definitely mentally, because the first half they weren't half the team. They come out in the second half, they got their heads right, they were unstoppable. They got every position filled with talent. They got good overseas signings, they got good young fellas and experience. So I can't believe that they're at the bottom of the table making their way up. I'm sure that by the end of the year they'll be up amongst the top 2 or 3.
So Leeds have got Salford to play in a fortnight. Steve, you've got a couple of games before that. Pick yourselves up in a different result at the Willows.
Yeah, you can't give them the yardage they were in the second half. They'll definitely learn something from today. They play the 10-yard real well. Leeds go forward and attack out wide, so we'll have to try and cover that. OK, Steve, thanks for talking to us. So there we are at Headingley then. Final score, Leeds 38, Salford 14. Well, Gary, 3 victories on trot, and suddenly doesn't look to be a problem at Leeds.
No, well, the only problem is that we've not won away from home, Stuart, and as I say, we know that when we play at home with the atmosphere here that we are going to perform, so hopefully we can rectify that this Friday when we play Warrington.
Today's game against Salford started off a bit quiet and then livened up, and then the second half after they scored the try, it really seemed to kick you.
Well, it was a lacklustre performance for 45, 48 minutes before the Salford went ahead, and we realised we was in a game, but then we showed what we can do, and but unfortunately when we play the top side, and that's no disrespect to Salford, we've got to make sure we play for the full 80 minutes.
Yeah, it's wonderful to have everybody back in the side. Is it confidence lifted up now? Well,
confidence is the big word, and I say I think it's only the 3rd time this season that Dougie Lawrence had all the players to select from in the squad, so it's looking good. Confidence is quite high. We're not going to get too carried away, and we're going to Warrington. We're playing in confidence. They're not playing too well, so hopefully we can get our first win away from home this season.
And a lot of talk, speculation about yourself, Gary. Definitely want to stay at Leeds?
I'll be staying at Leeds, no doubt about that. So, as I say, if there does always seem to be a rumpus at Leeds, it always seems to involve Gary Schofield, but I can reassure everybody I won't be going nowhere.
And Wembley this season, hopefully?
Well, hopefully it depends on the draw. We've got a nice win the first round with Barrow, and I say hopefully we can knock Barrow off, and then we'll see if we get in the second round.
OK, thanks for talking to us. All the best for the new year.
Thank you very much. Pleasure. Thank you.
Well, Simon, I bet you're relieved to be back in the side.
Yes, very relieved. I mean, it's nice to get back in the side and get back to winning ways.
Yeah, it's been a difficult few months for you. Just how did the injury happen?
It was an injury I picked up the back end of last season, and I kept getting a knock on me on the kneecap, and I trained very hard pre-season, and then had a few unlucky bangs on it, filling pre-season, same kind of thing, and I think it was a soft tissue injury behind the kneecap, and they just prescribed rest, and that's all I could do. I just missed the first 2 or 3 months of the season.
Yeah, obviously not the best way to get back into the side with Carl Gibbs' injury, but you have to take your chance.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Carl. There's nothing worse than more worse than a broken leg. But it's nice to get me a chance here, and I'm going to take it with both hands.
And still confident with the goal kicking?
Yeah, that's right. I missed a few from the touchline, which I don't think the South End enjoyed, but I'll get the practice in, and we'll get there.
Well, today's game, I thought that Leeds sort of got a kick up the backside at the beginning of the second half, just what you needed.
That was the best thing that could have happened to us in the second half, for us to go behind, I think, because, like you say, kick up the backside. And from then on, it was all downhill, and forwards worked very hard, I thought, in the second half, and the backs are finishing out wide. A lot of confidence running through the side now? That's right, yeah, we're good at home, but we've just got to get the away form going. I mean, it'll be a tough one again at Warrington next week, but I think we've got a good track record over at Warrington. I think the side's full of confidence, and we'll go over there guns blazing. OK, Simon, thanks for talking to us. All the best for the new year. Cheers, thanks, Joe.